Welcome to ODRD Rewired, a podcast from the Connecticut State Department of Education's Office of Dyslexia and Reading Disabilities, where we connect research, policy, and practice to support equitable literacy outcomes for all students. Across Connecticut and beyond, improving literacy outcomes requires collaboration, not only within schools, but across communities. Partnerships with organizations like the Springfield Thunderbirds help extend literacy beyond the classroom and into spaces where students and families feel connected, engaged, and inspired. Today, we're joined by John Jones, Manager of Ticket Sales and Service with the Springfield Thunderbirds. John is helping to support the Dyslexia Awareness Collaborative Night at the Rink, an event that brings together families, educators, and community partners to raise awareness, celebrate strengths, and promote the importance of early identification and support. We're excited to talk with John about this partnership and how events like this can make a meaningful impact for students and families. John, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So to begin, can you start by telling us a little bit about your role with the Springfield Thunderbirds and how your work connects with community engagement?
Yeah, definitely. So yes, my name is John Jones. I'm the ticket sales manager for the Springfield Thunderbirds. And so my role here is to oversee the overall ticket sales department, and which is broken into three components, which is FSCs, which is like our memberships, groups. So working with the different groups in the community, and bringing them in-house, and then individuals, along with overseeing our sales reps to make sure we hit our common goal. In terms of community engagement, yeah, it's pretty cool because we get to work with so many groups, and being able to highlight and showcase them. In terms of like the different things that we have going on in games. So like for instance. We work with a lot of local youth sports organizations in which, during the intermissions, we'll have, a cheer team, performing their routine before like a competition. And then the football team will be throwing out shirts, from the ice into the crowd, a little bit prior to that. So, just different things going on. And then, one of the coolest spectacles we have as well is our Pink in the Rink night, in which we partner with Rays of Hope, dye the ice pink in honor of breast cancer awareness. And, what's really cool is we highlight all of the women who have survived this, breast cancer, that disease, in which we have over 100 plus women on the ice in a nice survivor circle with the players involved. So it's always just a really cool spectacle in which, the players we dye the ice pink, the players wear pink jerseys, we auction them off, and we donate all of those proceeds to Rays of Hope, just to better the research for breast cancer awareness. And then, another cool thing that we do is working with the Girl Scouts each year. We put together an annual Girl Scout night, in which, we work with all of the troops in Western Mass, bring them in-house. We have activities for them to do prior to the game for about 2 hours. Our game starts at 6 or like 3 to 5. And then we do a nice, scout parade during during the intermissions just to highlight them. So, different things for different games, which is always really cool, especially like our military appreciation night, providing all of our, active duty and veterans, complimentary tickets. And, one of the cool things we do on that night is we do an enlistment on ice. So some of the new cadets, swearing them in on ice, which is really cool. The crowd always loves it, gets hyped. And then even, the different game, we have our Hometown Heroes night, in which, we provide complimentary tickets for all of our first responders, police, fire, EMT, whatever the case may be. And then during one of the intermissions, we actually do a cool vehicle parade in which we, showcase some of the local departments that have come out to come out to the game, in which we support. And then typically we do something as well in which we donate some proceeds to local military veteran associations, and whatever like the initiative that some of these first responders might be, raising funds for as well. So, a lot of different groups that we work with within the community, and just looking forward to giving back. And, it's always cool to, to see the different things we do, because every game is different, and what we're trying to accomplish.
Thanks, John. That's really helpful. And it's clear how connected your work is with the community. I've heard a lot about these events, and they all sound so amazing. And so
Yes.
building on that, the Thunderbirds are partnering with the Dyslexia Awareness Collaborative and hosting a Dyslexia Awareness Night at the rink. So I'm just wondering, what made this initiative important for your organization to be part of?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it just gives us another opportunity to, highlight and bring awareness, to the folks that deal with dyslexia on a daily basis. We do our best to support whatever multiple initiatives, and just look forward to building on them each year. All the different examples I provided earlier. But yeah, this is just, like I said, another chance for us to really kind of dive in, and just provide an opportunity to not only attend a game, but just to have some fun and realize that they're not alone, in dealing with this. So that's, what's awesome, and just looking forward to, just boosting the awareness.
And we're sure thankful that you, collaborated with us for this opportunity. And it's great to hear how intentional this partnership has become. And thinking more broadly about that connection, this event brings together hockey, literacy, and community awareness. From your perspective, what role can organizations like the Thunderbirds play in supporting efforts like this?
Yeah. So, like the role for the Thunderbirds is, definitely helping, like I mentioned, boosting awareness, and, hopefully showing, young students that they can strive for anything they put their mind to. And maybe one of these days, we have a player that deals with dyslexia that they can relate to, in which, that's someone that they can potentially look up to and be a, role model, and say like, hey, if he can do it, why can't I? So just trying to, just boost the awareness, and yeah.
Thanks. And that
Yeah.
really speaks to the power of using spaces like this in new ways,
Yes.
which it sounds like the Thunderbirds are very used to. And one piece that of the event that really stands out is the student experience. One of the highlights of this event is the Stick to Reading program, where students can earn a free ticket and even be on the ice during the opening ceremony. And so, what makes that experience so powerful for kids based on your work with the reading Stick to Reading program in the past?
Yeah, so stick to reading is powerful in my opinion, just because it helps kids read more, and especially in this day and age, that's just something that's not as common. Everything is electronic, or has some sort of stimulation to it. So just providing a book and just having a child sit down and just to better themselves, is really powerful. Because like I said, growing up. For me personally, we did a lot of reading, but that was within school, and we'd be tested after. And I mean, yes, we would definitely read for fun as well, but I mean, you just don't see that as often these days. And so, ultimately, it does help schools with curriculum as well, because I know that's one thing that's very important. So it's like giving kids incentives to read more, and maybe even hopefully opening their eyes that, hey, reading is actually pretty cool, and which there's an incentive behind it, in which if I all I have to do is really read, and then I get to go out to a game and potentially do some of our in-game experiences. So definitely powerful, in my mind, just because provides that opportunity that not a lot of folks have, and just helps increase the amount that students are currently reading.
Yeah, you're so right. In that sense. And I know that we've emphasized that it doesn't necessarily have to be physically reading a book. You could be listening to an audiobook. You can be having a relative read to you. It all counts as part of the Stick to Reading program. And I think that's also fosters that community engagement, and parents supporting, their youngsters in reading. So hoping that we're having success with this Stick to Reading program, and can't wait to see the kids on the ice, that's for sure. And I think what you mentioned really is a meaningful opportunity for students. And so along those same lines, how do you think connecting reading to something exciting like a live hockey game can help motivate students? I know we touched upon this a little bit, but especially those who are struggling with reading. And you even mentioned like there could be a player on the team that has dyslexia. So just wondering if you could speak a little bit more to that.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, it gives kids just something to look forward to, just to simply pick up a book and read it through a particular time frame. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I never had really opportunities like this. So, it was always, being tested after and not, looking forward to a game that I get to go out to with my friends and actually, be a part of that game in some sort, So I think it's just cool. It's a cool way just for kids to read at their convenience, whether it be at school, be at home, whatever the case may be. And yeah, just something to look forward to at the end of that. So I think that's, an awesome opportunity. Because like I say, not a lot of people are provided with that opportunity. So it's just, something cool that we like to do and just give back to the community. And yeah, just like I said, help boost curriculums, because I know that's, at the top for majority of schools. So, if we're just trying to see like how we can help, increase that.
Thanks. And so thinking about the event as a whole, for families and educators who are planning to attend, what can they expect from the overall experience that night?
Yeah, I would expect, definitely a family-friendly atmosphere with multiple unique things going on. So, like I said, it's really cool because within the intermissions, we have a lot going on in regards to maybe there's going to be a dance studio performing a routine for a particular competition, whatever group it is, throwing shirts, different groups singing the anthems, groups out on the ice holding our flag, and then we have a big T-Birds flag. So a lot of different things, which is always, great. Just, every game is different. So, what's really cool is it just, it can relate to a lot of folks who are not even fans of hockey. It's just, a nice option, an opportunity to get out of the house for some entertainment at a nice affordable rate, which is, kind of hard to find these days. So, I would just definitely expect that, fun night just to kind of kick back, relax, and see the organized chaos we have going on the ice. But yeah, it's always a fun time.